Alright guys, here we are. This is the debut of our Duelist Kingdom wave. So again, for those of you who've been around for a little while, we had our Deck Expo video back over the summer, which showed you guys the dates that we're going to be releasing brand new waves with brand new decks. So if you didn't see that video, I just told you what it was, and here's how it worked. So the name of the wave is Duelist Kingdom. So it's obviously Duelist Kingdom decks. And some were shown, some names in all these waves have not been shown, so we have some element of surprise. And some of you guys have, asked if we're going to make a certain deck, and we're not really going to tell you definitively, because the fact is we're showing you a bunch of names, and we're intentionally not showing you other names. So if you don't see a name of a character, we're not going to confirm any of those blanks. So we announced Kaiba, Joey, and Pegasus Duelist Kingdom decks, and like we'll touch on again later with the Pegasus deck profile, we already had a Pegasus that was a mix of Duelist Kingdom and later anime, later in the original series, and now this is straight Duelist Kingdom. So we have 3 new Duelist Kingdom decks, and we teased a 4th unknown. But you'll see that there's 2 decks with our face card face down. So who's the mystery deck? If you couldn't already figure out by the colors, it's going to be Dox and Para with the Gate Guardian and its pieces. So you guys have been asking for this for a long time. We have a lot of requests for Para and Dox, and it's a deck that we were definitely excited to do. Now, the reason, however, that we teased one unknown and there's 2 decks, because they're 2 characters, is that just like the Luminous and Umbra deck, the decks are built actually identically. So when you see the deck profile for these decks, it is the same deck duplicated, because we didn't find a way that we were happy to make the 2 decks different, because we know they both played different cards. But overall, to make the deck a nice, well-rounded 40 cards, each character has the combined cards of both of them. So it's one deck, it's just 2 different names, and that's it. That's the mystery. There are other characters, and we're not saying this is the only Duelist Kingdom to ever drop. Of course, we will always look to do more, but this is the 5 we have now, and you will, and we'll work Duelist Kingdom in at some point if we do decide to do more. But for right now, we have these 5 new decks, and we are ready to start using them. They're going to be a lot of great games. Because this is a relatively small story arc of ours, we have a lot of Battle City, a lot of GX. We previously have built Yugi's deck, of course, and Bandit Keith's deck. Those have both been out for, well, the Keith deck has been out for a long time. It was one of our early decks when we built his other
Possessed by Marek deck.
And then Yugi's deck is from before, but not as long ago. So we have 5 new decks on top of the 2 that we already had. And these 7 decks, or 6, 7, depending on how you look at the decks being identical, are going to be going throughout the next couple weeks. We're going to have the wave going, so we're going to have tons of duels based off the anime. You're going to see all 7 characters fit into their duels in the anime we created, and we're going to go from there. Deck profiles to follow of almost everybody.
Now, we're going to have each character's deck played twice before we give you the deck profile. That means, at least for the new decks, that means you'll see Joey's deck played twice, you'll see Pig's deck played twice, you'll see the Paradox deck played twice, once by each of them, before we bring you the deck profiles for each of them. And then, the only other thing we want to say before we get on to what will be the first duel of the wave is that we're going to be playing these duels with Duelist Kingdom rules. Not maybe quite exactly the rules of the show, which were never actually defined, so we maybe can't even exactly do all of them, and there are a lot of weird rules to Duelist Kingdom. We picked a few of the most important rules, like you don't need a tribute for monsters like Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. You start with 2,000 life points. You can only attack with 1 monster per turn.
And a couple others.
You will find all our Duelist Kingdom rules for gameplay in our errata document.
They'll be noted at the bottom, because in addition to erratas for effects, since we're now doing Duelist Kingdom, it'll also be, quote, erratas, more or less, to gameplay rules.
So just so you guys know, that's how it's going to be going forward. It should be self-explanatory as you watch this duel. It'll play out similar to Duelist Kingdom, except without a lot of the weird things, like I confuse Spell Shining Hour with Mammoth Graveyard, and I make your Moth's Wings wed, and my Giant Soldier Stone can attack the moon.
But yeah, so again, to read, like, because if you watch the Virtual World wave, you kind of saw how we did it. The deck went off in the new deck went off in Duel, and then the deck profile followed. So it's going to be the same thing. So guys, don't ask when the deck profile is going to come. You'll see the duel twice, and then you know that profile is going to be the next video afterwards. And the duels are going to happen in chronological order from the anime. You can get an idea that the Yugi Pegasus duel that we're definitely going to do will be the very last one. So look forward to that. It's going to be amazing. But so you guys can get an idea and the feel for how the content's going to roll out. And again, this will be how it's going to be during every wave. So again, we're trying to make things more consistent to an extent and more transparent, so you guys will be able to predict, you know, when a deck profile comes out, when a duel comes out during these waves.
But anyway, guys, that should be everything you need to know for the Duelist Kingdom deck wave. Now we'll get on to Paradox versus Joey and Yugi.
All right, guys, and here we go. The first duel of our Duelist Kingdom wave, starting off with a tag team duel, Yugi and Joey versus the Paradox Brothers. So here's the rules. Again, for Duelist Kingdom, 2,000 life points apiece. We toy with 2,000, we toy with 4,000. We settle on 2,000. We'll go through, we'll explain the rules. As far as the tag duel goes, the orange box life points will represent Para and Dox, based on, of course, where they are on the map. And then blue box will be Yugi and Joey.
Yep.
So you can follow along whose life points are whose, and of course, you know, where the breakdown is.
Yeah.
The order for this is going to go just like the anime. Dox,
Over here, Yugi, Para, Joey.
Additionally, in the anime, when one player of the team hit 0 life points, they both lost. We're actually going to pass on that, so that should one player hit 0 life points, the other main player still stands. We're doing this just so that the game goes on a little bit longer. We get more out of it.
It can be way too easy for one player to hit 2,000 to 0.
Again, we tested, you know, the decks, and they are really nice, but will always perform differently than on the anime.
Yeah.
So, we're going to get started.
Every player will draw 5 cards in hand. Most of this will be pretty much like a standard duel, guys. Each player's own life points in the tag duel like a standard duel. You know, a card that says all your opponent's monsters will be both the opponent's monsters. We'll just explain anything we need to as we go along. And the first player to attack will be Joey.
And summon Monster Tamer in attack mode position.
Draw. I summon my Kribo. Just kidding. I summon Gaia, the Fierce Knight. I'll play a card face down and end my turn. Now it goes over to Paradox.
And by the way, the reason these decks are together, in case someone just has to feel the need to blurt out that the deck's in the wrong place, is just the way the camera mount is for the overhead for a tag duel, so my hand's gonna move weird because there's a, you know, tripod here.
Yeah.
Before someone just says it looks weird, as I know it's
It is necessary.
I'll summon Jirai Kumo.
Ooh.
And equip it with the Invigoration.
Wow, 2,600.
And I'll end.
Alright. Time for Joey to play. Nah, all my cards are weak. Joey had a lot of weak monsters. I have a couple plays.
No, they were good monsters, remember? Look at my baby dragon. It's so strong. And my battle warrior.
Yeah.
Oh, Joseph.
I'll set a monster face down and end my turn. By the way, guys, we also have Duelist Kingdom rules written up in our errata document. Just a few simple things like, I'm sure you've already noticed, no monsters required as tributes for high-level cards, 2,000 life points for each player, each player going to attack with 1 monster per turn. Just the standard stuff, you can check that out. We'll be using those rules for all of our Duelist Kingdom duels.
I'll summon Labyrinth Tank.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Also, on the list of, you know, things to look up on, Labyrinth Tank was played as a normal monster in the anime. So the white errata sticker here means we're going to play it just like that, and you can find that mentioned in our RAD document. For anyone just joining us. For everyone else, you kind of know what the purple thing means. Labyrinth Tank, attack Guy the Fierce Knight.
Not so fast. I activate my Mirror Force.
Wow.
Early nuke to the duel. Actually, I probably should have saved that for
Gate Guardian.
Gate Guardian. Or even like a Suijin or something. It's sort of tempting me to get rid of 3 monsters.
Alright, I end.
I'll draw. I'll summon the Mystical Elf in defense mode. Play a card face down and end my turn. Yeah, that early Mirror Force for Yugi.
I'll summon Suijin.
Uh-oh.
Suijin, attack Gaia the Fierce Knight.
My knight. Yugi will take 200.
And end my turn.
Time for Joey.
Now, also, one thing we want to mention about this, though, because I know we're always throwing something in there. Despite the fact that this Suijin specifically does not have the white sticker on it, we decided to change all the Suijin, Sangas, and Kazijins. Because in their anime effect was that they could negate an attack. The printed ones, if you don't know what it does, it says, you can make, if your opponent attacks this monster, you can make the opponent's monster's attack 0. In a 2,000 life point format, that means anyone who attacks Suijin is eating 2,500 points damage. So obviously that will not fly in
Duels.
especially with having multiple quantities of these cards. So as you'll see throughout the game if we get to it, each one has its anime effect in that it negates an attack, not that it makes a monster attack point 0. That would just bring these wonderful games to a screeching halt way too soon. We are going to omit the part where it says can be set in spell and track card zone and can only be summoned with Sangha and Kaiji on the field.
Yeah, because that's just unrealistic.
It's a bit much, but we wanted to nerf that the damage effect just to preserve the integrity of the game.
I will end. So back to Docs.
I'll summon Dungeon Worm. Dungeon Worm, attack Mystical Elf.
But your Dungeon Worm is less attack.
If I equip it with my Invigoration card,
that's fine.
I'm animating it up in here.
Yeah. Mystical Elf will be destroyed.
And I'll end my turn.
I'll draw. I'll send 1 card to each zone. Call it a turn.
The next piece. Sangha of the Thunder. See, that one has a sticker.
Nah. Things ain't looking good for the 2 of us.
Sangha. Attack Joey's face down. The deck side one.
Nakachikaki. I guess I got a little cocky there.
And I'll end my turn.
I'll draw. I'll throw down a monster. Put 2 cards face down and end. Uh-oh. Our heroes seem to be a little on the ropes. I should have saved Mirror Force for a situation like this.
Now we'll summon Jirai Gumo.
Sure.
Dungeon Worm, attack.
Beaver Warrior, which you did summon in advance in the maze. By the way, guys, yeah, obviously we're not doing this as a labyrinth.
If
it's
that's
not realistic.
That's not very clear by now.
Is it Yugi's turn?
Yeah, that's just a whole other headache we're not going to get into. It's old school tag duel with cards.
I'll set a card and end my turn.
Next, in defense mode, I summon the Labyrinth Wall.
Uh-oh, that beefy 3,000 defense. to any of these players to stop defense.
Sangha, attack Joey's other face down.
It's my Axe Raider. Draw. I'll summon up my Flame Swordsman. And we've got Salamander coming down to boost it to 2,500 attack. I am not going to bother to go after those. But I will Flame Swordsman attack your Dungeon Worm.
No.
Which will be 300 life points gone for Docs. And that'll end Joey's turn.
I'll equip Jiragumo with Invigoration, boosting it to 2,600 attack points.
Wow.
Jiragumo, attack the Flame Swordsman.
Alright, here's where you have to flip a coin. We'll see if the attack was worth it.
So I'm going to call heads.
And it is heads. Damn, my Flame Swordsman is destroyed. So Joey will take 100 over here. Minus 100 for the Wheeler. And I guess it's on Yugi now. Yugi will set one monster and end. Our heroes are definitely on the defensive. One Flame Swords in play did first damage to Docs. So now everyone's taking damage except Para, who may not take damage for a while, considering he's got the Suijin and Sangha bosses going on there.
I'll now activate Magical Labyrinth.
Oh.
Obviously, not doing what did in the anime.
Yeah.
Equipping it to Labyrinth Wall and then tributing them both
Nice play.
to summon
Wall Shadow. Just for anybody who might have lost track, Docs' life points, Yugi's life points, Para's life points, Joey's life points. I assume one of our monsters will be taking an attack.
Suijin, attack
Suijin.
Yugi's monster.
My Curse of Dragon. Let's see what Joey's got. I'll set a monster and end my turn.
Jiragumo, attack Joy's monster on the deck side.
Sure. You'll flip that coin.
Tails.
Head. So your life points will be halved. Down to just 850. But Joey's Rude Kaiser will be destroyed. Let's see what Yugi's got. I'll simply end my turn.
Sangha, attack Joey's last monster.
A baby dragon.
Now you have nothing to protect yourself with.
I got another monster I'll throw down. I'll set an end.
Also the monster.
Let's see what Yugi's got. I'll simply end my turn. Sorry it's not a little more exciting, guys. This often happens in Duel's Kingdom when you can't act directly. It's just the nature of the duels.
Suijin, attack!
My Lava Battle God, buying the dust. Let's see. Alright, it's time for one of you to lose. I summon my Copycat. When this card summons, select one monster your opponent controls. This card's attack and defense become equal to the selected monster's original attack and defense. I'll choose your Sangha of the Thunder. Now, Copycat's original attack and defense are 2,600, 2,200. Then I'll activate Shield and Sword, which means Copycat's 2,600, 2,200 attack and defense are switched. These both switch. Wall Shot becomes 1,600, but more importantly, your Jirai Gumo becomes 100. Invigoration will put it up to 500. But my Copycat's got 2,600 attack.
See, if I hadn't lost all that life points, it still wouldn't have mattered. Oh.
Yeah, that's over 2,000. And Shield and Sword will knock Dox out of the duel. I'm sure, hopefully our fan base is cheering. Sadly, Copycat's going to bite the dust. And with that, I'll end my turn. Now with Dox out, it'll go back to Yugi.
But I still have strong monsters on the field.
Yeah, guys, don't think we're out of the woods yet. But I will end my turn as Yugi. Sure, some people might be like, oh man, Dox is out too fast. You should use 4,000. Like we said, we did try 4,000. There's advantages of both, but 4,000 often means incredibly long games of both players almost decking out while both players just pass back and forth.
It's actually probably some of the most damage we've seen done in the way we were.
In a short amount of time, yeah.
Okay, it's also the way we built our decks so that they mimic the anime and they're not too, like Crush Cards limited to 1, Mirror Force limited to 1. I'll activate Riryoku.
That'll put Copycat down to 1,300.
And I'll boost Sangha by the same amount, putting it at 3,900.
Wow.
Sangha, attack Copycat. And wipe out Joey.
Wow, that will indeed be it for Joey. I'll take 2,600.
Because all it really does is cancel out... your monster attack and my boost cancel out, so you just take damage equal to the original attack of Sangha.
Your monster, yeah. Wow, Joey's out now. Well, it'll go back to Yugi. I guess it'll be the impetus will be on Yugi to find a way to win the game. Alright, this will help. I'll summon my Summoned Skull. I'm gonna make you make a choice. I'll have my Summoned Skull attack Suijin. Will they both be destroyed, or will you negate the attack?
I'll negate the attack.
Alright. In that case, Summoned Skull does live. And Dox's Para's life points are untouched. Yugi will end his turn. Wow, guys. So Duel went on a while with all 4 players going, but now we had 2 eliminated in a very short amount of time. Dox and Joey.
Next, I'll summon Kazijin.
Sure.
Saga of the Thunder, attack Summoned Skull.
I'll activate my Magical Hats. So, if you notice the white sticker, Magical Hats is added, the hat becomes 1 hat. The hat card becomes 1 hat.
Again, that was done to just like the anime, there are 4 hats, but it doesn't change the way the effect plays out, as in taking a 3rd card from your deck.
Alright. Let's shuffle up all these face downs. And now, Para, you get to choose which you'd like to attack.
That one.
You've attacked Horn of the Unicorn. And when this card is sent from the field of the graveyard, I can return it to the top of my deck. There's the other Hats card, and there's Mystical Moon. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'll draw. I flip back up Summoned Skull. And then I'll equip it with Horn of the Unicorn. Now my Summoned Skull has 3,200 attack points. I summon Catapult Turtle.
Oh, okay.
Now, those who are watching might observe that I could launch my Catapult Turtle and summon Skull. But I will activate Mystic Box, destroying your Song of Thunder. I will put my Catapult Turtle on the field in its place, and my Summon Skull with 3200 attack will attack your Catapult Turtle. Para, that'll be 2200 points of damage, which will be enough to drop Para to 0. And there we go. Just like the anime, Yugi and Joey won.
Well,
Not just like the anime.
more of Yugi won and
Yugi.
Joey himself lost. But
Joey
as
himself-
a team,
Yeah.
they
Joey took out Para, then Dox, then Para took out Joey, and then Yugi takes out Para to win it. Guys, this is just the first game of our Duelist Kingdom wave. We have a ton more coming. So guys, look for the Paradox deck profile. That will be the next video. The duel after that will be Yugi versus Kaiba. So there's where we'll see the debut of Kaiba's Duelist Kingdom deck. Anyway, guys, awesome stuff. The Duelist Kingdom wave is going to continue. Thank you guys so much. This was a fun duel to do. Always like tag duels. YGO Anime Games out.